Listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kirsten.
The Big Show.
Some say that karma is a bitch. Some say that karma is a bitch.
Yeah, some say that karma is a bitch. Well, karma wasn't at work tonight, was it? You're listening to Caps on Tap. This is my friend here, stayed in a haunted hotel. She was terrified, I think. Not nearly as terrified as we were watching the end of that game tonight. Yeah. You're listening to Caps on Tap, your host, Kevin Kierstead. You know, sometimes you win when you lose, don't you? Do you think you could agree with that? I think I could. What is it that makes a hockey team come out swinging hard and show the best part of themselves, then show the worst part of themselves at varying points throughout the game, just enough to lose? Is it a flexing of the muscles, so to speak, to say, hey, here's the beginning of the game. We're the Washington Capitals. We may be playing the Chicago Blackhawks, the Stanley Cup defending champions, but we're not so shabby ourselves. Let's show you how good we are. But it's the beginning of the season. So let's show you all the kinks we got to work out too. Was that it? Was it a full spectrum presentation of what you're going to see this year at the worst and at the best moments? I feel like we may have gotten a microcosmic view of this season tonight. That's a gut feeling, and I tend to go on those. For those of you tuning in for the first time tonight, let me break it down for you. My main show is called Truth on Tap. It is focused around truth and mass media and other social issues mostly. Jump around onto all kinds of topics. My secondary show is Caps on Tap. But the same format of absolute truth seeps into this show. I'm a one-man band. I have no formal training. I am not a hockey expert. I've been a fan since 1974. I'm pretty knowledgeable, especially on my Washington Capitals. You're not getting something here that is being sponsored by anyone. You're getting a fan's opinion mixed with other fans' opinions. You understand the difference? I'm not a full-time blogger that's sitting in the locker room. I'm not Joe B. or Locker. My interests lie in seeing the Capitals win and trying to figure out what's going on when they're not. Also giving out that Capitals news in a way that you're not getting it already. That is from the heart. No bullshit. No endorsements to worry about. This is a cursing show. Put the kids to bed or not. I don't restrain my callers or my guest or my co-host. They are allowed to speak freely. This is an emotional game. And no one's going to tell me or my guest or co-host how to speak. So that's this show. If that's too much, if you got kids around, you'll have to find another show. This won't be the one for you. But what we do have to offer here is a wholesome view, one that is not afraid to dig into the harder parts of the game, as well as the more topical parts, the ones you see on SportsCenter. And we're going to do it tonight. I mean, I'm sitting here with 3 pages of notes, and I'm going, fuck the notes. I saw everything. I can talk about the Capitals for 173 days straight if I wanted to. Fuck the notes. You know, I'm not even gonna, I might go to them a couple times to talk about who scored when and what. But let's just get into it. A few things about me. You're going to hear me moving my mic around here for a second because I'm doing something new tonight. I bought myself, well, my girlfriend bought for me when she was out a Australian, excuse me, let me get this straight. I want to blow your eardrums out here. Australian Outback hat. Let's get the mic right. Somewhere in there looks good, I think. Bring it that way. So I had to take I want to wear this hat, you see. I love this hat. It's part of my personality. I'm 41 years old. I've always wanted one. I always thought, well, I don't want to stand out in a crowd. I better wait to get that. Well, I'm 41 and I don't go anywhere anymore. I work out of my home, and even if I did work outside the house, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm wearing the hat. The hat represents something. It's an Australian Outback hat, not a fake cowboy hat. Do you like the fake cowboys? You know, the fake cowboy ones that go, they got their shit kickers on, their Stetsons, got the tight blue jeans, they're doing the line dance. Then they go live in their brownstone and never walk on grass, never seen a cow in their life. Yeah, I had a horse. We raised chickens. We raised rabbits. I had a fucking pet goose named Wilbur, okay? I could wear the cowboy hat and be legit, but the cowboy hat's not me. The Australian Outback hat is a bit of a wild one, isn't it? Represents a little wildness, a little craziness, a little, I will wrestle an alligator. I like it. I like it. It's just, there's something about it. It has this mystique. There's a quiet power, but then an obvious power behind an Australian Outback hat. Get you one. Get you one and try it on in the store. See if you like it. I'm wearing mine. So tonight I had to take my expensive headset off because the hat was big enough to put over my headphones, and yes, I was doing that for the last 3 or 4 shows. I have since made the hat a little tighter for comfort by using weather stripping, and I can't fit the headphones under it anymore, so fuck it. I'm not wearing the headphones. They're around my neck right now, and the mic is kind of sticking off about 3 inches to the northeast of my mouth somewhere. So hopefully that will be suitable to you. Let's get on with it. Let's get into the chat. Now, I have not been looking at the chat yet. I have not been listening for call-ins yet. So give me some time on that because I get distracted easily. I'm not a multitasker. So for that reason, I had to get my spiel out there, if you want to call it that, early, so that I wouldn't get too crazy with the going off topic. The chat is now open. You can go to Spreaker.com/user/truthontap, just like it sounds. You can go there and you'll see a live show of all the shows there. It's Caps on Tap, Caps versus Hawks, a win-lose. And go ahead and click on that show and then go to the lower right corner and you will see a chat window by the little heart icon. Click on that and you're in. You're in the chat. I'll read your stuff on the air. Some of the stuff I'll be reading tonight is coming off of a Facebook page that I have recently joined. I am a member of many Facebook pages supporting the Washington Capitals and many not. And I recently stumbled onto one. Let me bring it up here so I can give you some details about it. It's called Real Caps Fans, a Sin Bin. It's, there's not that many members yet, but it seems to be pretty active, and I'm looking for active Caps fans, looking for people that are interested in their team, and, instead of just a slow-moving site. So I'm just going to keep this open and use this. For those that don't want to tune into the show or want to get in on the radio show but don't really want to listen to it, not sure why you'd want to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and read some of the comments off of a post I made in here. Show is live. Let me let them know. Or call in, 910, no lying. That goes for everyone listening. You want to call into the show, it's 910-665-9464. Because of the way I have my headphones right now, I'm going to really crank the volume on those so that I can hopefully hear your call when it comes in, so I'm not wearing them. I will take a break. I'm not a professional broadcaster. I am relatively new to this, but I've had too many people tell me that I was born for it, and I've always had a bit of a romantic connection to the radio, even though I'm not a huge music guy, for me to not do it. So I'm doing the show, and I'm going to keep doing the show, and you'll be able to get on the show if you like. Call in. You can get in on the chat. If you're really good, I might have you on as a co-host and just kind of hang on. That way, we'll have some differing views here. I'm not looking for people that agree with me. I'm not looking for disagreements, but please be honest when you call in. If I say something against a player that you'd rather disagree with, but you're afraid to, don't be afraid. I won't let you look bad. on my excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold, but on my shows, there's only two types of people that I will verbally assault. Two types of people. That is bullies and assholes. And you can be an asshole for a day. I know people get in bad moods. You can be an asshole for a day. I might do it. I'm talking about people that live to piss off other people, to try to get under their skin and kind of get off on it. Yeah, you know a real asshole versus someone being an asshole for a day or even a week. Those two types of people, the bully and the full-time asshole, I'll make them look awful small on this show and on all kinds of other media. Yeah, I go after them. Yeah, I got a bit of a wild streak in me when it comes to those types of people. For everyone else, you're on my level. I'm on your level. I'm not better than you, and I'm not worse than you. I'm going to make you look good. Call in, disagree, tell me I'm crazy. Cuss me out. As long as you're not an asshole or a bully, your view's coming on. That's the way it goes. Fair is what I am, but not Eric Fair. We don't use scripts here. So that was unplanned. That was my attempt at humor. Eric Fair, let's go ahead and start with him. Why not? See, you're going, well, what the hell are we talking about Eric Fair for after that game tonight? His name didn't make it into lights. Nikki Backstrom did. All kinds of power play assists. OV did. Mike Green did. Why are we talking about Eric Fair? Because Eric Fair is at the core, spine, backbone of this Capitals team. I told you this about 5 episodes ago, and everybody said the same thing. What the hell are you talking about? Then the bastard came to life and was scoring left and right. Eric Fair is like an assassin. He sneaks around in the ozone. You see him and then you don't. He enters a wormhole here and crosses time zones there, and he's got this Predator look about him, like Predator from the movie. He fades in and out. You don't know where he's at. Bam, bam, there goes the puck in the back of the net. Okay, did he do it tonight? No. But he is a worker, and he now, once again, believes in himself, and I see it. Therefore, he makes one of my top 4 core players for this Capitals team. Now, for those listening, if you'd like to go ahead and guess who I'm going to name for these top 4, if you haven't heard any of my old episodes, go ahead and guess. Who am I going to name as my top 4 Washington Capitals, as it stands right now, for this hockey team this year? Who is it that's at the backbone, to which all other things are connected, but nothing else is as strong? Anybody got any idea? Let me go over to the chat and see if we got any guesses there. Nobody making guesses yet. Hopefully you're not hearing my mouse clicks. That's one of those things in the modern technological era that I'd like to see them really conquer. If I have missed your call, it's because I'm doing a new thing with my headset tonight. You're going to have to bear with me. The number's 910-NO-LYING. I'm not wearing my headset. It's around my neck, so I can wear my Outback, Australian Outback hat, because it's necessary. It makes me feel good about myself, and therefore I wear it along with my survival bracelets. Makes me feel good about life, even after a Caps loss. Yeah. Played the Blackhawks tonight. Now, let me start off in that respect by giving the Blackhawks, and I'm still letting you think about those 4 core players. The Blackhawks need a bit of a pat on the back, okay? Not for the game. Let's stop for the game. We may give them a bit of a pat on the back there, too, because on this show, we're fair. Blackhawks, congratulations to you for the Stanley Cup win, of course. The crowd was in it for you tonight, and why not? They're a young team that doesn't care how old they are. Experience wasn't the driver for their performance last year, or even this preseason, or tonight. Passion was. Skill was. They didn't win the cup last year. They took the cup without permission. Chicago Blackhawks. Caps on tap salutes you for your hard work. And to the technical staff tonight for that banner lifting ceremony, you lit that shit up. And let's give you a pat on the back for that. Caps technical staff, take notes. Yeah, do that. And to the Blackhawk fans who showed up, and to their coaches and support staff and media and front office people who stayed up all those nights, you get a respectful salute from Caps on Tap. congratulations, Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks, the new Cup defenders. And that, my friends, is the end of the nice shit. Okay? All right? We paid our dues. Now, we put a bit of an ass whooping on you tonight, Blackhawks. Oh, you left with the higher score. Congratulations for that. But you got your asses beat, didn't you? Yeah, physically you had your asses taken off and then handed to you. Sometimes we even got them confused. Might have handed Oduya's ass to, I don't know, Kane. That's how many asses we took off and handed back to you tonight. That is a very good sign, my Capitals fan friends. It is a very good sign. I believe tonight may have been the perfect microcosm of this season. May have been, if it is, playing the defending Stanley Cup champions. We got a bunch of good games coming up. Oh, do we ever. We got a beautiful season coming up. If this is how we're going to play this season, minus the dumb shit, we're bringing home the cup. No question about it. This was a beautiful game on the good end. On the bad end, I don't know what the fuck we were thinking, and we're going to get into all of it. This show may run an hour, might run 3 hours. Depends on my mood. It's my fucking show. I'll run it how long I want to. As long as you're interacting, I'll probably keep it going. I'll kind of run it like a store in that respect. Don't want to kick out customers. But until we really get some people interacting, I can't make any promises. Let's see here. Let me get back to the chat room. I tend to get lost. You know how men are not as good at multitasking as women, and that's a general thing. Everything I say that involves stereotypical comments is a general thing. There's always exceptions. Well, I'm one. I'm your typical man in that way. And I have trouble focusing on anything more than one task at a time. Yet, to our credit, men have the ability to focus rather laser sharp-like, and that is something we can be proud of. What we can't be proud of is the fact that if something else is going on, we tend to be oblivious to it. So there is that. Back to the Capitals versus Blackhawks game. I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I wanted to start off with, and then we're just going to kind of rip it open. I've got all these notes about who did what and when and how, and I'm thinking, like I said earlier, I don't need that shit tonight. It's all on my mind. It's all in my heart right now. So I don't really need the notes. The site is Spreaker.com/user/truthOnTap. Spreaker.com, that's S-P-R-E-A. It's like speaker, but with an R after the P. Spreaker.com. This is my radio show. Spreaker.com/user/truthOnTap. All together. No dashes, no underscores, just truth on tap. So Spreaker.com/user/truthOnTap. You'll see a live show. Click on it. You can get in on the chat there. You can call in 910-NO-LYING. That's 910-665-9464. I'm going to go ahead and try to monitor the Sinbin Facebook page, see if anybody's in on that. How about Brooksy? We got Brooks Like back. That's a good thing. He's feeling good. Eric Fair, as always, one of my backbone guys, he had to go to the box early tonight. That didn't help. I'm not going to do the back and forth. There was so much action tonight. I think we can just kind of keep it under the looking glass and not necessarily dissect play-by-play. But what we can talk about is what was revealed tonight. Because let me assure you of this. I don't think either team held back tonight. When they failed hard. When they succeeded hard. It was a full-on effort, and I'm only hoping that it was an indicator of how the Capitals are going to play for the remainder of this season. As I said, I'm not a professional broadcaster, and as such, about every half hour, 45 minutes, give or take, I'll throw in a couple songs. They are mostly from a local group that I support. I tend to promote my local artist. I'm here in southeastern Virginia. I've been to many Caps games. They are called Bad Ace. You can find them on the web, badace.com, just like it sounds. You can find them on Facebook, Bad Ace. Good group. Do some rock and roll type stuff. They do a lot of stuff. They'll play anything, and they have a lot of their own music. In fact, all I have is their original music that I put on this show. But they play in a lot of local clubs, anywhere from Virginia Beach, north and west to Richmond, and all in between. Get in touch with them, badace.com. I'll also put on, sometimes I like to download random music that's free for commercial use from CC Mixter, because I find it's fun. Throw it on there, kind of a flavor of the day, just kind of to throw you a curveball. And that'll give me a little break so that I don't have to, knock out my vocal cords in the first hour. We'll be doing that regularly. Let's get on into this game, Capitals versus Blackhawks. What did you think? What did you think? I was misled a little bit early on because what I saw was the Blackhawks handling our asses. I saw that Stanley Cup team come out getting way too much zone time, way too much control, way too little opposition. I didn't like what I saw there. I was thinking, shit, we better get some lucky shots from OV or something. Damn, what's going on here? And then, as usual, the Caps tend to warm up a little bit. And they, after they warm up a little bit, they come out swinging. One thing about the Caps you must know is that the Washington Capitals, if you haven't noticed this yet, will sit on a lead. Have you noticed that? Yeah, they'll sit right on it. They get a lead. Not comfortable leading, are they? They're comfortable playing from behind. It's been my experience. I've been watching them since 1974, and before I could even fully pronounce the word Capitals. And this team has seemingly never liked leading from the front. What is it? Is being behind the apple that they like to dangle in front of their faces? Adam Oates is masterful at what he does. How can he change that? How can he get the Capitals to be a team that when they're 2 goals ahead, plays as if they're trying to come from behind? How would you do that if you were the coach? How would you handle the penalties? How would you get a Mike Green to not sit on his victories for 5 games? And you know what I'm talking about if you know anything about the Capitals. Tonight, as I took my notes, I was beating up on Mike Green, and then he scored 2 goals, and I'm like, well, the people listening to this show tonight are gonna jump me because I'm gonna attack Mike Green anyway. Before we go any further, I'll leave you with that little cliffhanger. Let's get on back to the 4 people that I say are the backbone of this Capitals team this year. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You know the first one. He needs no introduction. He carried the Olympic torch for his home country. He has won the MVP, 3 times, I believe now, 3 or 4 times for the NHL. What an amazing player. Greatest hockey player to ever lace up the skates. He's number 1. He is, and the correct pronunciation is Alexander Ovechkin. OV, our man, he's number 1. Number 2, Nicky Backstrom. Comes to play every game. Every game. He's got puck control, zone control, skates well. Needs to work on his shooting and shooting confidence. We need more shots from Nicky. You saw it tonight. I say it all the time. When he does shoot, as the announcer said, the NBC announcers are usually douchebags. They tend to dislike the Capitals. Either comes from just hating the Capitals or hating the fact that we have the greatest player in the NHL on our team. I don't know where that really comes from. But yeah, they hate us, especially that douchebag Mike Milbury. As I said on Facebook, he needs to be tied down onto the ground near a bunch of blind people playing yard darts. That's what Mike Milbury needs, that son of a bastard bitch. Asshole. I'd like to kick him in his big nose. You see what he did when he was playing? Huh? Alright. So Mike Milbury climbs up into the stands when he was playing his shitty career, gets a hold of a fan and beats the fan with his own shoe. Okay? Now, if I step up to the podium and say, define class, what you will never see is Mike Milbury's name. You will see that on the antonyms list for define class, but not on the synonyms list. Fuck you, Mike Milbury, and the fat cow you rode in on. That's what I say. And I'll say it to your face, too, you big douchebag bastard ass. What a douche. What a gooftard. What a pucktard. Loser. Fuckface. I I can't think of enough bad words for Mike Milbury. Um, he jumps on Ovechkin any chance he gets because he's, I don't know, he's jealous. He's under Sidney Crosby's table, doing a little bit of head work there, if you will, always pumping him up as much as he can. Yeah, if you hear the slurping sounds, I ask you to just imagine you're in a different place. It's about the only way to escape it. Sidney Crosby is not a better player than Alex Ovechkin, nor will he ever be. We'll get into that later. So we've got the four players that I'm talking about are the core of the Capitals team this year. We've got Ovechkin. We've got Backstrom. Okay? Who are the next two? Well, I kind of gave you a hint on one, didn't I? Eric Fehr. Yeah, Eric Fehr. He's just that strong. The next one after that is going to be Jason Chimera. Does that surprise you? If that surprises you, tell me, because I want to know. Jason Chimera is a grinder in the same respect that a Brooks Laich is. Here's a problem. Jason Chimera has got a bunch of speed, doesn't he? That's beautiful. He uses it too. I'll tell you somebody that's got a lot of speed. Mojo. Did you know that? What, you didn't know that? Some of you didn't know he had speed? Oh, he's got insane amounts of speed. Insane amounts. Some of you didn't know that? That's because he doesn't fucking use it. I don't know what the hell's wrong with Mojo, why he won't light that ice on fire. He did it once tonight. He skated fast once tonight. I've seen him skate fast like once on average every 15 to 18 games, give or take. He doesn't use it, folks. He's got pretty good passing. He's got great puck control. He doesn't use his speed. He's not shooting lately. What the hell's going on with Mojo? You know, I don't like to make a habit of beating up my Capitals. To get into the NHL, you have to be a kick-ass hockey player. Do you understand that? So don't be a fan, especially if you're going to come on my show all the time, and just kick the Caps in the nuts all the time. You don't get into the NHL being a shitty hockey player. You get into the NHL because you are the elite of the elite. To get into this best league in the world. But I can take any player in the world and I can compare his best play to his worst play. And if he's got a history of sticking with this theme of doing the worst play or the down low, below average play, I'm going to say something about it. If it's my Washington Capitals, I'm going to say something about it. You can bet that shit. But I don't like to be negative often. I mean, we have a great team, you know. Mojo, he's an excellent hockey player. There's no question about it. All I'm asking is him to use his talent. You know, there are no players on this team that I'm going to come out and say, that guy sucks, man. The closest I'd probably get is a Carl Alsner. And he's kind of like a belt buckle, you know. You need him, but he doesn't do anything. You know, I don't know how else to put that. You know, I don't know how else to put that. That's Carl Alsner. He's there. You know, he's always there. He just doesn't do anything. I don't know how else to put it. You know, you tell me how to better word that, and I'll air your comments. Carl Alsner. And so you've heard the four. The backbone of this team, in my opinion, is in fact Alexander Ovechkin, or Alexander Ovechkin, as pronounced in Russia, Nicky Backstrom, Jason Chimera, and Eric Fehr. Eric Fehr really showed up to play. He's got the grind. Now you're going, well, where's Brooks Laich? Brooks Laich, I can't put him in yet. He may make it. I can put 5 or 6 as the core of this team, but he's been out. And I don't know if he's going to recover from his groin injury. You know, I don't know if he can really give 100%. You know, a man that's hurt is a man that's hurt. You can't fault him for playing worse. But I can't put him as a backbone yet. He was. He was a very crucial core element of this team 2 years ago. You know it and I know it. But with the injury, you know, we got to be fair. You gotta get players in there that are playing on your important players list. So we're watching Brooksy. Stay healthy, buddy. Don't let them hurt you, and keep grinding like you always do. You'll make my list. I won't let it go above 5 or 6 guys. You can only have a core on a hockey team of 5 or 6 players. And I will have that core, and I'll just call them the backbone. Might as well. It's my show. I can make something up. We'll call them, and it'll be a routine thing I talk about, the Capitals' backbone. Who is it? That's not going to be something that changes quickly. It is not a fluid movement. It is something you have to earn and that you will not easily get kicked out of. Why is Mike Green not on the backbone? After all, he had such a great performance tonight, didn't he? Almost pulled off a hat trick, playing against the Stanley Cup champions in their own house. How about that? Well, he does stuff like that about once every 20 games, and then he sits on his victories. He didn't used to be like that. Up to about 3 years ago, he was Mike Game Over Green, always scoring that overtime goal to shut him down. The best offensive D-man in the league. What happened? He just started slacking after a couple injuries. I don't know. He just lost heart, I guess. I don't know. Is he back this year? Doesn't look like it to me. I've seen a couple great performances, mostly shitty ones. Little things like when he goes for the shootout and doesn't even get the puck, turnovers, sloppy passing. Tonight he played an excellent game. But I ask you to watch the next 5 or 6 games. Mike Green isn't going to do anything. He's not going to do anything. He's going to sit on his laurels. Is that what it's called? Resting on your laurels? He does a couple great things, and then he sits down. Says, well, I can fuck up for 5 or 6 games now. That's bad psychology, Mike. Come on. Come to play every game. Take notes from Shamara. Take notes from Brooksy. Jesus. Nobody can take notes from OV. He's a superstar. He's Superman. I would not try to get a human being to behave like Superman. It's impossible. OV is in a class of his own. And we're going to come back to talking about him and Cindy Crisboy in a minute. Drinking coffee here, smoking my filthy cigarettes. 20 years ago, I wouldn't have had a radio show. I just love this big old internet work. Thank you, DOD. Now I've got my own radio show. I may have 10 trillion listeners, which is going to be kind of hard with 7 billion people in the world, or I may have 10 listeners, and I'll be equally as happy and passionate. Got my own radio show. I'm happy. I do it my way. But important to me is what you think, especially when it comes to Capitals fans, because I connect with you. I don't always connect with our coach. Our players are in and out like revolving door, traded here, traded there, except for a few that sign long contracts. But my fan base I connect with. I feel like they're really family. And so I care what you think, and I hope you care what I think. Get in here and tell me what you think. I'm going to play something for you here, a quick voiceover. Listen to this.
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kierstead.
Yeah, the air raid siren was necessary in that because I bring that kind of damage when I go on the radio. Did you recognize that voice, my friends? Did you recognize that voice in there, doing that voiceover for me? Well, I'll play it again for you.
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kierstead.
Yeah, you recognize that? I'll give you 3 guesses, but you only need 1. You recognize that voice? I'll give you a clue. We're talking about the Capitals, right? Okay, there's a clue. What's he talking about? We're talking about the Capitals. How's that a clue to who did this voiceover? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it's coming to you now, isn't it? Yeah, it's coming to you. Because even if you've never been to a Washington Capitals game live, you've heard this voice over the TV. That's how loud and electrifying that voice is. That, my friends, is the Capitals arena announcer, Mr. Wes Johnson. The one, the only. He's got a history in radio. He's got the greatest voice to ever come across speakers when it comes to getting people fired up. He's like Zorro. Yeah, Zorro. I always compare him to someone different. It gets very difficult. Zorro can move in quite quickly. He's a quick guy, one of them squirrely guys, and take his sword and zippity zap and then leave. And you're going, well, he didn't touch me. Then you turn around to walk away and your head falls off. That's him, Wes Johnson, getting into your psyche. When he speaks over the PA, you are forced to move. You may look like MC Hammer. You may look like Beavis and Butthead trying to dance, but you're going to move, aren't you? That's Wes Johnson. That's his magic. And white people, by the way, if you dance like you're being shot at, especially if you're at a Capitals game, please stop doing that. I ask you to go to YouTube, watch some videos on how to dance, and then come back. Because it's embarrassing enough that we white people can't dance. Don't ever dance like you're being shot at. Don't do that. That's ugly. We don't like that. It doesn't look good. And you're going to hurt yourself, for Christ's sake. Don't do that. Let's see who we got on here. I got all kinds of shit coming in on Twitter. I am not a multitasker, so I'm probably going to ignore anything that's not in chat or on the Facebook page. I'm not seeing a lot of interaction. This was a kind of I don't know what you'd call it, a experimental thing going on to the Sin Bin page on Facebook to see if they would engage. And I'm not seeing a lot going on here with them. So, and, part of this has to do with, of course, the fact that we lost. Who wants to talk about a game when you lose, Well, I think you have to, I think you have to. I have to. I'm running a show about them, and I only promise to run that show about every other game, but I may run it as often as after every game. So no promises there. We're just feeling this out, and not getting any interaction on that site. So I may have to look around, find a. Let me go find some. I'm going to do it right now. Actually, I'm going to go find some cap sites that are active and see if I can get some people calling. Well, you can call in, but you can also just comment in, if you will. Facebook, damn it, they do things that bother me, and I'm not that hard to please. You go to search for something and they go, oh, you're looking for this? Well, no, Facebook, I'm not looking for that. So then you go to type something and hit enter, but they put in one of their suggestions and you're getting all the wrong shit up. Oh, stop trying to guess what I'm thinking and let me just think, okay? Oh, I hate predictive technology. Doesn't it just piss you off? Anyway. Let's see. Yeah, I need to look for some Capitals fan sites where they will interact. I was going to copy and paste a status here. Capitals. Let's see. Let's do it this way. Washington Capitals. No, I'm not looking for the Red Rockers and how beautiful they are, but not looking for them right now. Looking for a big Facebook page for the Washington Capitals that has a lot of members that are interested in being on this radio show. Let's go to, I don't know, pages, and then we'll check out groups. 519,000 on the official. I don't know if I can get a message in there though. I can always try. Let's see. Yeah, I can try. They let you post here. This might be the place to do it. Come check out the post-game show. Well, post-game radio show. Don't want people to be misled. I will read your comments on the air on this status or from chat. And we'll try that. Or you can call in, of course, at 910-NO-LYING. If I've missed your call already, it's because I'm doing something strange with my headset tonight. Bear with me. Call in again. That's 665. That's 910-665-9464. 9464. There we go. And let's see. The show itself is at www.spreaker.com/user/truthontap. Then go in and actually, I think I want to put, do I want to put the address to the actual cap show? Because Truth on Tap is my profile, but I do two shows, Truth on Tap and Caps on Tap. I think I'm going to just lead them to Truth on Tap because they may be interested in both shows. All right, then go in, go there and click on the live show, which is Caps on Tap. All right, to listen. Hope to hear from you soon. And I just want to make sure that they know that they're going to be live. There we go. Post. We'll see how that goes. The page is S. Oh, they're not letting me do it. I remember now. I remember. Well, that's okay because I'll just try another browser and see if they let me do it. Washington Capitals showed you the best and worst of themselves tonight, did they not? I saw it. I saw the muscles flex and relax. It was like a drunk doing tricks, wasn't it? He did tricks well if he was a superstar anyway, but then he'd fall over. That wasn't really working for me, but yet the downside was overridden pretty well by the upside of play tonight, and in such a manner that the average came out high. Yeah, the average performance came out high in my book, and I like that because I do believe that tonight's game was a pretty good insight into what this season's going to be. I really do. Let's go with it. Let's roll with it. Let's keep that going. Look at who got in tonight and played hard. You had your Joel Wards making stuff happen. Nicky Backstrom, always. Ovechkin, always making stuff happen. Mike Green stepped up. Will he stay up? Probably not. It's been my experience. Probably not. That's a sad thing to me, but it what are you going to do? Get in on the show. I ain't typing all that other stuff out now. That's for show. On the show at, well, I'll call it the post-game show. www.spreaker.com. Users, Truth on Tap. On the Caps. Sorry to take you through all this, but hey, it's the first game of the season. I got to get people interacting here, Help me out. Let's get this show going. I'll get you on the air. Or call 910-NO-LYING. 665-9464. Post-game radio show. Everybody thinks they're going to be on TV if I don't say that, and we don't do TV here. I don't even do video. I mean, I've made a few YouTube videos. Actually, I've made 2 Alexander Ovechkin highlight videos. You should go check those out. Mainly because, not because I did them, but because they're kick-ass. I was a little bit tired of the metal. Everybody playing, metal. It gets a little old, so I did it to some hip-hop, some rap here or there. And why not? Who's it going to hurt? Let's see. Did they let me post on this page? It looks like they don't let people post. They only let people comment on stuff. It's like I don't know. Go ahead and cap season opener. Let's do that. And I will be routinely, as this show goes on. Remember, this is our debut show, not for Caps on Tap. It's probably our 6th or 7th show. But it is our opening season show, and I've got to get some people interacting here. So, yeah, you're going to hear me doing some of that technical stuff. I am a one-man band, so bear with me. Let's get some people interacting. Help me out there. Get some people in on the show. Get some people in on the chat. Get some people calling in, and we'll make this a fan-based, hear me when I say this, fan-based Washington Capitals post-game show. That means that I'm not coming at you like a hockey expert. I am not Barry Melrose. I'm just an interested fan that knows a pretty good bit about hockey. If 10 scale is your knowledge scale, I'm a 7, 7.5. That's good enough. That's good enough. Hell, a 5 is good enough to run a radio show if you're just running it from a fan base. I'm up there around 7.5. Yeah, I know a good deal about hockey. I'm not an 8. I'm not a 9. I'm sure as hell not a 10. So there you go. There you have it. And as we do this, as I talk about who made mistakes tonight and who didn't, I have to mention Carl Alsner. He was sloppy tonight. And as I said before, he's necessary, but he doesn't do anything. He's much like a belt buckle. He's just there. You know, you notice him, but then you don't look at him anymore, do you? No. Sorry, Carl. You know, break out of your shell, bro. Bring me something to talk about. You're in the NHL. That's great. That separates you from a million other hockey players right off the bat. But I don't know. Do something to stand out within the NHL. I'm not seeing anything. You know. He was weak tonight. Carlson was up and down tonight. He took a pretty good hit there in the third, I believe. Who was that? Oduya? Who put that hit on him? Anybody know? Come in the chat and tell me. You know, he knew the hit was coming. What I liked about that is he didn't let that affect the play. Didn't let that affect his play. He was in the D zone. He knew he had to get the puck out, and he was right behind the net, and he carefully passed it instead of swatting at it and then trying to duck the hit, which a lot of players do if they're afraid to get hit. Joel Ward, who really played well tonight, did that a couple times. He did try to duck the hit. I think that was he's not afraid to get in there and grind. So I'm not sure what that was about with Joel. He's you know, maybe he's just got the starting jitters. Not sure. Overall, he had a great game tonight. I loved his effort. He's always a grinder. He's got that reputation. But he's also known to make some big mistakes at critical times. And you probably recall playoffs a couple years back. Yeah. We won't go there. You're depressed enough. We lost to the Blackhawks tonight. I'm not taking you there. But Joel Ward, you know, he's a grinder. He's a worker, and we need that on the Caps, don't we? We sure do. All right, let's do another search for Washington Capitals, since I couldn't really get what I wanted posted there. Yep, tonight, for those of you that don't know, I'm on Facebook, and I'm looking for Washington Capitals pages so that I can round up some active fans to be on the radio show. These are people that will chat, give me their opinion. These are people that will call in, talk about it. Let's close out of there. Just to remind you what you're listening to. Right?
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kierstead.
Yeah. That coming from your favorite public announcer in the world, Mr. Wes Johnson. Truth on Tap gives birth to the show Caps on Tap. I have been a lifelong Washington Capitals fan since 1974, since I was just a toddler. And started this show because of that, because I like to talk about them. I did not hear a radio show, which is my favorite medium, communicating well from the fans' perspective in the way that I knew it could be done. And so here I go. And I'm going to get you together with other fans. I'm going to get your perspectives out there. I'm going to intertwine my beliefs and views with your perspectives. And we're going to put some meaningful product out there for people to follow along with their Washington Capitals. I got big plans for this show. I will include little things that will make you a smarter hockey fan. Sure will. Little things like we did earlier, pronouncing Alexander Ovechkin in Russian. Alexander Ovechkin. Also, just to give you, since we're in Russian, do you know how to pronounce Alexander Semin when you're in Russian? I already gave you half of it. Come on, you know that. Alexander Semin. You're going, what? There's no O in it. Oh, well, that's not my fault. In Russia, it's Semin. Yeah, I'm glad he's gone. Are you? Oh, I just heard a gasp out there in my radio audience. How could you say that? That's sacrilege. He was a slacker. Greatest wrist shot in the league, won't use it. Greatest dangler and skater in the league, got to be in the mood. Doesn't work for me. I'll take a rookie who will grind any day over a star with an attitude. put his ass on the bench. Actually, Hunter did put his ass on the bench, and he deserved it. And I think Hunter put OV on the bench too. Hunter wasn't afraid of anything, but he was too... Some coaches forget that they're coaches and turn back into a player. And I believe that was Hunter's thing. Too much of an emotional connection, not enough thinking. Whereas Oates, he draws that line cleanly. Now, he's just trying to make a name for himself in the coaching. But he's such a smart guy, very detail-oriented. Have you noticed that about Oates? He's type A in that way. He doesn't miss anything. Every little detail gets noted by him and is put back out in a coaching philosophy as necessary. He doesn't miss anything. He also, and this is part of what makes him my hero, he was already my hero for the way he played when he played for the Caps, but this is part of what makes him a coach hero for me. And I'm not sitting here telling you that Adam Oates is an excellent NHL coach. I don't know yet. I haven't watched him for long enough to be able to say that yet, okay? But what I love about him is, as you know, he's not a yeller. Bruce Boudreau would come in, fuck this and shit that, and y'all suck ass, and blah, blah, blah. He knows he's dealing with NHL players. Because of that, he knows that they're great, or they wouldn't be here, okay? So he talks to them like men. He does not yell at them and bitch at them like they're teenagers, okay, or children. I love that about him. He gets it. He's got the maturity down. He's not going to bitch smack his players around thinking that maybe that'll light a fire under him. It doesn't work that way. Be mature. You don't criticize your players in a negative way. You can use constructive criticism in private, but bitching at them in front of everybody else is not effective. It's just going to create resentment. Don't do it. Adam Oates knows that. He knows that. So he's got that smooth approach. Now, you might be saying, but Kevin, some players, the smooth approach gives them permission to slack. They need to be manhandled. No, is my answer. Even manhandling those players will not improve them. It won't. If they don't have it in their heart, if their motivation is lacking, a coach cannot put it in them. All a coach can do is tell you how to win and show you how to win. That's all he can do. The fuel comes from in you. And you may draw that from a lot. You may draw that from your fans. You may draw that from your teammates. You may draw that from your family. It's quite possible. You may draw that from anger over something the other team has done. The fuel comes from you, the hockey player. The blueprint comes from your coaches. And after you practice their blueprint for a while, if they're a good coach, you start winning games. The blueprint becomes second nature. You don't have to think about it anymore. You just play in that fashion. Oates has a good balance of offense and defense. He's not afraid to get his D-men up in the zone. You saw it tonight, didn't you? Didn't you see the D-men up in the zone tonight? I liked it. I mean, regardless of the fact that we were on power plays all the time, and I guess we scored 3 power play goals tonight. We're going to lead the league again this year in power play goals. No question about it. We led last year. I think we led a couple years before that too. 3 power play goals. Yeah, we got that thing down. Now you're saying about Kevin, we couldn't score on the 5-on-3. Well, you can't always score on a 5-on-3. It's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. I mean, Crawford came up big. Some say he was. What I don't want to hear. Don't bullshit me. Don't come in saying, well, Crawford was dehydrated or they would have beaten us 6-2. Bullshit. That was a cop-out. After he let a few goals in, he was looking for something to blame, so he started acting dizzy. If I'm wrong about that, prove me wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. If he was that bad, he wouldn't have been in. You understand? Dehydrated. He forgot to drink before? Well, that's, if he was that bad, he would have been pulled. He wasn't. So we earned our goals tonight. Okay, we earned them. And we did it in fair fashion. It's funny because at the beginning of the game tonight, there were some calls missed. A lot of offsides calls were let go. Did you notice that? Players constantly offsides for the first 5 minutes and nobody was calling it. And then the refs kind of jumped up. I guess they woke up, started calling the offsides. Little calls like that, offsides, they can change a game. They really can. You got to give them, a lot of people don't care about those calls, but icing, offsides Capitals are a team that likes to ice the puck, don't they? Yeah, it's a slack thing. It's clear it. I don't even like dump and chase as a style, even though half the teams in the NHL use it. It's just it's a flip of the coin. I say skate it in. The Blackhawks have a weakness on their power play of getting it into the zone for the power play. And if you noticed tonight when they scored, whether they were on the power play or not, it was because we let them set up. Once you let them into the zone, especially on their power play, and let them set up, they become very dangerous. But they're easy to stop at the blue line on a power play. Easy to stop. And we stopped them a few times, and then we just got lazy and said, all right, fuck it, you're on the power play, come set up, see what you can do. Well, they showed us what they can do, and that was not smart play. That was not smart play. You got to get them at the blue line when they're on the power play. Holtby did well. He let one or two in that he should have stopped. You expect your goalie to stop 9 out of 10 to give you a chance. He didn't quite match that number tonight, but he had a lot of quality shots coming at him. And his defense left him out to dangle a few times. Keep that in mind. And Crawford, it's funny because I find Crawford's performance tonight quite comparable to Holtby's, just in effort, in rebounds, and lack thereof, and second effort shots, and on adjustments where needed for puck redirects. Thought he was pretty good with that, and Holtby was as well. But a goalie can make or break a game. You can always tell a new fan, can't you? They'll blame the goalie for every loss. That's one thing. Second thing, they're always angry, aren't they? Especially after a loss. Oh, they're enraged, aren't they? This son of a bitch needs to be kicked off the team, and that son of a... And what they're saying there, I have a background in psychology, and I love to mix it in. What they're saying there is, listen to me. I'm so knowledgeable about hockey, and I have so much heart over my team that I'm enraged over these players. I'm enraged, can't stand it. Going to come out of my skin here. That's what they're saying at the subconscious level. That's what they're trying to get you to believe. So easiest way to identify a new fan or a bandwagon fan, they're always angry, and they blame the goalie for everything. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's an easy one, easy way to spot them. And maybe we shouldn't be upset. When you see a bandwagon fan or a new fan, fuck it. If they're a Caps fan, the more the merrier. Bring them on. But don't take them seriously. They're just getting their feet wet. For those of us that have been watching for many, many years, we have a different way of looking at it. Some of us are still easy to anger. Some, a little bit too supportive of the Caps. Always, yeah, they did everything right. And they don't always do everything right. And we got to be willing to point out when they don't do everything right. Let me remind you what you're listening to.
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kiersten.
And what I'm going to do, since I'm not a professional yet, is I'm going to put on a Bad Ace song for you. They are a local group here out of southeastern Virginia. And I'm also going to put on one of the songs I like to download from CC Mixter. It's not Ace, it's just, this is a random song. I don't even think I've heard it. But this time we're going to put on Blue Circles. It's called Blue Circles. Unreal_DM is the artist, featuring Cecil. I know nothing about him, and chances are you know nothing about him. That makes it kind of fun to me. Makes it mysterious. So this will give you a little break here. You can listen to some good music. Go use the bathroom if you have to. And then I need you to get back on here, listen to this radio show, and get involved. I want to see you in the chat. I want to hear you call in at 910-NO-LYING. And I will see you and hear you after the break. Let's get it.
Just 16, then you became my high school dream. I didn't didn't know that I could feel this way. And even on such a sunny day, I didn't know a feeling of this kind. Feels so bad inside. Feeling this way. Ran across your picture, baby, just the other day. Imagine conversation, you knew just what to say. I held you in my arms and never let you go. And I realized I love you evermore. I didn't realize I felt so strong for you. I didn't know that I could feel this way. And even on such a cloudy day, I didn't know a feeling of this kind. Feels so good inside. Feeling this way.
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kirsten. to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kirsten.
Yeah, you are listening to Truth on Tap, but really you're listening to Caps on Tap. It's the daughter show, but every family is a family, isn't it? Yeah. Talking about the Capitals and the Blackhawks tonight. You just heard some excellent music by Bad Ace. They're a local band here out of southeastern Virginia. You can find them online, Bad Ace, that's A-C-E, just like it sounds, you know, like the card from a deck. Yeah, Ace, yeah. Badace.com, or you can find them on Facebook. Google them. You'll see them all over the place. Excellent band. High quality music. I got a friend that is the drummer in that band, and he's excellent. Always been great at his craft since way back in high school years. He also has a business. If you live in the Northern Neck area or anywhere from Virginia Beach on north to Richmond, and you need any kind of heating or AC work, give them a call. Western Shore, they do HVAC work, and give them a call. They're out in Matthews. You can find them in the book. You can find them online at westernshoreinc.com. Back to the Caps and Blackhawks. As I said before, I'm very impressed with the way this game went. But this curious thing, you know, I've watched a few thousand Capitals games, and I'm going, what the hell happened tonight? It didn't look like any of the others. I understood the good performance. I was really impressed with it and surprised. I mean, I thought that the Blackhawks were going to hand our asses to us. Physically, we handed their asses to them. Quite the opposite of what I expected. I like those kinds of surprises. But what shocked me was the lows. I'm going, it almost seems like we're trying to balance out our performance. We're doing so well that we have to fuck up. That's weird. Because when you're doing so well, you tend to not be able to fuck up. People are in their zones. And by that I mean mentally, not necessarily on the ice. But usually the two are synonymous in hockey. So people are in their zones, they're doing well, they got their skate going on, their passes are crisp, clean, and accurate, their shooting is top-notch, they are aware, their ice awareness is high, they're throwing the hits, throwing the checks, doing the poke checks, getting the puck away from the offense when they're playing defense. All that is working. So to see such a brilliant performance, as we saw from the Caps tonight, while dragging the ball and chain of the ugly side of the performance, was a bit of a mystery to me. Doesn't usually happen that way, does it? Usually a good game is a great game and a sucky game is a shitty game. Well, tonight we got a taste of both, with the average, in my opinion, still coming out quite high, giving me a lot of hope for the Caps this year. I believe what we saw tonight may be a precursor to the flavor of this season for the Washington Capitals. If you're with me on that, let me know. Get in on the chat. Call in at 910-NO-LYING. If I missed your call earlier, it's because I like to wear an Outback hat. Yeah, I got an Australian Outback hat. Just got it last week. My girlfriend bought it for me. I asked her to. And it's a cheap $15 Walmart hat. And I know I'm supporting the big corporate monster, but damn it, I needed the hat, okay? And I got it for my own reasons. I'm 41 years old. It was time. I've always wanted one. And I need to wear it. So whereas before I was wearing it over my headset while doing my radio shows, I shrank it a little by putting in weather stripping, a little trick you can learn on the internet to make your big hats a little smaller, because I wanted it to fit better. And now it won't go over the headphones. So sad. So I had to put the headphones around my neck with the microphone sticking out to the side, kind of, in order to wear my Outback hat, which I just refuse to take off while I'm doing a radio show. I just can't. And it's part of me. It's like taking it off is like swallowing kryptonite if you're Superman. I can't do it. So I'm not hearing everything through the headphones that I should be, including your calls, because all I get is a dingle dingle, dingle dingle, for the Google Voice number that is connected to this show. That number, and I'm trying to listen closely for it, is 910-NO-LYING, 910-665-9464. You can call in. You'll be on the show, Caps on Tap, talking about our Washington Capitals and how they're doing this year, how they did tonight, what you expect to see from them. Really, no limit on the range of topics as long as it pertains to the Capitals. You can talk about things that have happened in the league, whatever. No rules here, but we got to keep it interesting. So Leave that to me. If things start to get uninteresting, I will gladly corral us back into interesting topics. So just speak freely. Call in. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm right. Tell me what you think. Tell me what I've not touched on tonight that I should have. That'll be interesting. Going back in, let's take a look at the second period. Third period there. Second, Holtby came to life, didn't he, in the second? I think he got hit with a couple shockers early, didn't he? Just, I don't like it when a goalie has to take time to warm up. There's something wrong with that in my mind. Here's the problem. If it started at a young age, it's not going away. It is a lifelong habit if he can't get warmed up early. He's an excellent goalie. I'm not questioning that. And I want him on our team. I want him in there this year after what he's done for us the past couple years. Hopefully he doesn't hit a bad season. But he always takes a little time, doesn't he, to get warmed up. And that bothers me because I think there must be some way around that. Is it that a goalie needs to be more active in the pregame warm-ups? You know, they're already somewhat active, but does he need to work a little harder, get the adrenaline pumping? I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. You know, so he got hit with the shockers. He showed up in the second in his normal self. He's quick, and that's good. He's got the big body to put in front of the puck. In the second, Mojo, once again, slacking, not getting my attention. He skated fast once in this game when he should be doing it every time. Made a couple dumb passes, turnovers. Mojo, yeah, he's not earning his paycheck right now, folks. Call in and prove me wrong if you want. OV putting the hard pressure on in the second. The Caps were doing... Did you notice? I'll tell you something I know after watching this team for so long. Adam Oates, at some point in the interval between the first and second periods in the locker room, said something like this. Listen, guys, I want you to start tossing the puck out in front more. I need to see you put it in front more. Now, that may have been in passing, or it may have been a focus. I'm guessing it was more of a focal point. Why? Because in the second period, I must have seen 15 times where somebody just tapped the puck to get it in front of the goalie. Put it out there 5 feet in front of Crawford. Not necessarily with a cap there. You can kind of tell, you know, when you say, this is different. What happened in between periods? Well, that's what happened. Oates came in and said, hey, put it in front. Put it in front of the net. Let's get the setup. Just make it happen. Ugly goals will go in if you do this. And it's true. But there was a lot of that, and that's okay. It was so easy to read, you know, that there had been a shift in the strategy. That didn't last. The throwing it in front of the net didn't last. Like most things that aren't taught every day, but are thrown in as a real-time strategy, they get forgotten, unless the coach really harps on it. 15:21 mark in the second. Let's see what happened here. The Caps were keeping the pressure on. The fourth line was doing well. Third line was doing well. Hossa and Sharp jumped Holtby. Did you see that? And when I say jumped him, I mean they put the pressure on him. One banging, the other banging on rebounds, and Holtby stopped them both. Chimera in the second was working hard as always. Watch a team in the second period, because that's the period they think you're not paying attention, isn't it? Come out strong in the first, finish strong in the third. They think you're not watching in the second. Watch what they do, and you learn the true character of individuals on the team. My opinion. Yeah. So Chimera was working hard as always. Nothing new there. Mojo, take some notes, if you would, from Chimera. That's what a man with speed and heart does. Chimera, who I was happy enough with his speed. I was happy enough with his speed and play that I didn't need anything else. But what's he doing? He's throwing hits more consistently now. He's got a big body. He's throwing hard hits now. Poor Chimera. Let me give you a little bit of a sad story. It's not a sad story. It's just my sympathy for the poor man. I do like to get into the psychology of hockey, not just the performance of the players, but the why. Chimera is so fast and routinely beats players down to the O zone. They're trying to get back on D so often that they get mad, don't they? Let me go off on a parallel here. You ever read that study about police when they catch someone they've been chasing on foot. You ever read that? What happens? They tend to beat them, don't they? Yeah. And you're going, okay, what did? Well, it pissed them off that they could have gotten away, one, and two, that they made the cop work. They're pissed off. So they got that adrenaline pumping. So yeah, they're going to beat them when they get to them, which is uncool, cops, and a lot of cops are assholes, and to them I extend my crooked middle finger on both hands. But some cops are good. They're cool. Anyway, coming back off of that, so what happens when Chimera, the poor guy, who's always grinding, always working, always using that God-given speed, or whatever religion you believe in, or nature, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. Personally, I'm agnostic, so I believe in whatever. Prove it to me is what I say. And that is agnostic, not agnostic. You can look it up. Poor Chimera, grinding hard. You're going to hear me talking about him a lot. I love what he does for this team. He's grinding hard. He's working hard. He's skating mad fast, using that ability. And what happens? He passes everybody, gets behind the net. Nobody catches up with him, so he can't really set anybody up. But he's got that D-man coming right up behind him, right? To the extent that he can. I mean, they're chasing. Chimera can sometimes put a body length between him and the D-man if they start off even. And then the D-man wants to punish, doesn't he? He becomes the cop, chasing the bad guy. Gets there, usually a boarding call that goes uncalled. And then Chimera ends up in the scrap. The poor guy. He gets abused because he pisses off players because he always beats them in the foot races. I feel for him, man. I feel for him that he has to pay that price just for being fast. It's just so unfair. Is that why Mojo won't skate? Is that why you think Mojo won't skate? You ever seen Mojo in a fight? Those Swedish players aren't much for fighting, are they? No. Maybe he's afraid. Maybe that's why he won't skate. He knows he's going to get the post-chase adrenaline beating. If that's the case, let's get rid of his ass. Man, we can get some money for him. If he doesn't want to play, if he doesn't want to come to play and use his natural talents, find the biggest boot you can get, strap it on as tight as you can, and launch that bastard right off of our bench. I love you, Mojo. My God, you have the capacity to be a Hall of Famer with ease, but you're not using your skills. You're not. You're not using them. I don't know what's wrong with you. Great passer, good shooter, mad speed that you will not use. I don't know what to say. What can I say to get you to work? What can anybody say? Nothing. I just think it's got to come from you. Maybe you're at that age where you think, well, I'm on the team, I'm getting paid, I'm happy. And then you're going to realize that your career is slipping away and you're marginal at best. And then you'll find that motivation. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mojo. I'm sorry you're not putting your heart into it. That hurts me a little. Getting back to the rest of the performance in the second period, we'll just breeze through. The Caps were killing on zone time there. I loved it. Crawford was rising to the challenge as necessary. The Caps were still trailing by 1 at that point, and Grabowski was putting pressure on pretty much all night. He looked really good. I think he's a great prospect. I hope he keeps going. With Ribby gone, he's got some room, doesn't he? He's one of those guys that can shock you, that can change the pace of a game, slow it down or speed it up. And he picks his spots, doesn't he? He's not trying to be predictable, that's for sure. And Ribeiro used to do that for us. So that's good. Backy was super active compared to his normal, very controlled self. I mean, I don't know what got into him. It looked like he was a demon possessed, man. He was going after every puck. He was shooting. This is in the second. He stopped shooting again and went back to his old self in the third. Maybe he's trying to make up for Mojo and what Mojo's not doing. Maybe he's trying to show Mojo by example what he needs to do. I don't know. And then in the third, I'm skipping the rest of this stuff I wrote down about the second. It was a 4-on-4 for 10 seconds, and then the tripping penalty on the Hawks put us on a power play. Backy, again, was afraid to shoot, but Green scored. This is what he does. He scores one or two, has a beautiful game or wins in overtime, and then he takes 5 or 6 games off, doesn't he? Yeah, that's what he does. I don't like that attitude. Come consistent. You may be a hero very few times, but you'll be consistent. That's what a Nick Backstrom is. He's not always in the headlines, but he's always at work, isn't he? Always a factor in a Capitals game, whether it's a win or loss. Backstrom's always producing, and he's always producing well. Very few bad games you'll see on a Nick Backstrom. Very few bad games. That's what more of our players need. I don't like this having a great game and then sitting on it. And that's kind of the psychology of the Caps here in the past few years when they get a lead, isn't it? Get a lead in the game, get a 1-goal lead, sit on it. All right, we got a 1-goal lead. We're good. We don't have to work anymore. Oh, damn, we're tied again. Oh, damn, we're losing. Now we got to work. Okay, we tied it again. Isn't that how it happens? Yeah, too much of that. We need the Capitals organization to train the players to play when they're in the lead as if they were losing. There's got to be a way to do that. I'm not a coaching expert, but goddamn it, there's got to be a way to do that. Stop giving up the lead. Stop sitting on your lead like it's guaranteed to stay there. You know you're going to lose it. It's predictable now. When we get a 1-goal lead, we almost always give it up. We love to fight from behind. I don't like that. For one thing, it's going to give me a goddamn heart attack. I'm getting too old for this shit. But for another thing, it's not smart hockey. You need to get the lead and keep it. It deflates a team that you're playing against when you get a lead early and won't let them chip away at it. By the third period, they just, shit, let us get out of here. You know, it can take away their spirit. It takes the fans out of the game. We can't keep giving them a chance when we get the lead. 3 power play goals tonight. Gosh, I'm just impressed. I am really impressed with that. We were the number 1 power play last year, and I think several years before that. We're going to be the number 1 power play again this year. We got that part of the game down, don't we? Holtby was holding them in. There were turnovers like crazy there in the third, early in the third. Joel Ward had a bad one, even though he made up for it. Again, the flexing and the falling, the flexing and the falling. We saw the best and worst of the Capitals tonight. How else do you explain that? I don't know. The stable players, as usual, were Ovi, Chimera, Backey, and Fair. Now, the fact that Green pulled off a couple, you should not let fool you. Okay? Watch him closely over the next 5 or 6 games, please. Watch how he slacks off. Unless someone has masterfully figured out how to change him. Because that's what he does. He sits on a lead in his performance the same way the Caps sit on a lead in a game. He does a few great things and then he fucks up for 5 games. This is the Mike Green of the last 3 years. I'm not talking about the old Mike Green. I'm not talking about Mike Game Over Green. I'm talking about the Green of the last 2 years. Just been really slacking. Just sloppy with the passing. Sloppy with getting back on defense. Not working hard enough to put himself into the offensive zone early and often like he used to. What is that? What's going on with Mike Green? You'll have to tell me. I can't tell you. I just know what the product is. That's all. Caps hate being in the lead, don't they? They just hate leading in a game. I don't know what that is. That's got to be changed. So it was still 4-4 at this time in the third. There was 9:11 left in the game or thereabouts. The Caps impressed me then in that they still had their legs, didn't they? That tells me training camp went well. That tells me that they've got their wind. It also tells me that, from what I'm seeing, unless it changes, they're going to use those legs that they have under them still in the third. Games are won and lost in the third on conditioning. Believe that. Erskine, who he was just like Ward tonight. I mean, he would do something great and then do something shitty. He hurt Taze, didn't he? He hit him hard. Now, it was a clean hit, but it was a shoulder to the head just because of the way Taze was standing. What Erskine did wrong, he didn't get called for the penalty, but what he did wrong was he extended his arm after the hit, kind of like he was trying to launch Taze. Well, that didn't hurt him, but it indicates a malicious intent. See? Now, you're not hearing about it now, and I don't think anything will come of it, but that could get him suspended. It could. Keep your eyes out for that, because dickhead Sheriff Shanahan is always on the hunt, and especially for Capitals, isn't he? Yeah, well, that's my opinion. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. For him to play the way he did so many years and then come in talking about who to suspend and what's right and what's wrong, yeah, it just rubs me the wrong way. Two kinds of people I hate in the world. The first and the very worst are the hypocrites. The second are those who abuse their authority. And the two types of people that I will routinely verbally assault on my shows and through other forms of media are bullies and assholes. And they tend to run closely with the hypocrites and authority abusers. Let's see here. Alsner, he was playing sloppy in the third. I don't know what happened there. I don't think it was his legs. I do think training camp did them well this year. I think they worked. But I don't know. He just he looked uncoordinated. And that was my impression. How about Brower with the spinorama? That wasn't intended. He was left no choice, really, was he, but to try the spinorama because he was cut off on that left side. But he made it look good. He's got that kind of skill. Brower is a good all-around player, isn't he? He'll throw the checks. He'll come in hard. He'll take good shots and score. I believe he scored more goals in the abbreviated season last year than he did the year before in the full-length season. So he's coming on. But are we sensing a dip in his performance? I don't know. I hope not, because he's a good player. He really is. He can make it onto my backbone core if he stays consistent. So he's got the skills, just needs to use them consistently. I'm not saying he's inconsistent. I'm just saying that he needs to keep using him consistently. Brower can bring a stronger backbone to this team. Some of these players I'm not so sure how long we'll keep, and that worries me. How do you think Forsythe is doing on the coaching? Did you see him? Adam Oates wasn't even going to say anything on that 5-on-3 when Chicago took the timeout. Forsythe was doing all the work, but Oates called him back, probably just for a little pep talk. Oates calls him his eyes and ears. So, and if Oates never misses a detail, what's that saying about Forsythe? Yeah. Seems like he's got his shit together. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Oh, Lord. Fair got so close a couple times. He always does, but usually they're in when he's on his game. And this year he will be on his game, and that's why he's one of my 4 core players. There were lots of shots by Green and OV there in the second half of the third without any product. That also in the 5-on-3 and then the 4-on-3. What else happened there? There were 30 seconds left on the 5-on-4. Mojo too high shot. And, Holtby went to the bench a couple times and skated back as we tried to put the extra skater on to catch up after Chicago took the lead. And that's it. And that's all of the specifics I'm going to mention about tonight's game. The rest that I talk about is just going to be general stuff, either about tonight's game or the season or the Capitals in general. So let's see who's in here on the chat. Let's see if we got some messages going back and forth here. I get these browser problems. I have to use 3 different browsers, so sometimes your chats aren't coming through, or I don't hear the phone calls coming in. Then I get messages, and that's life. So checking now to see if we got some chat going on. We need to get some going on. Can't be having this stuff. Can't be having this, no participating just because the Caps lost. Come on now. Maybe that's what I'm looking at this year, though. I got to find a way to get you guys in here, even when the Caps lose. Talk about it without being too enraged. Well, I don't see any interaction yet, so I'll just go on my own. Screw it. For those of you still interested, just want to remind you that you're listening to Caps on Tap, which is the daughter show of Truth on Tap. And here's the more formal announcement of that.
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kiersten.
Yeah, Wes Johnson, Capitals Arena announcer, greatest voice in the game, greatest voice anywhere. When it comes to sports announcing, When it comes to PA, you don't find a better personality, do you? And he's much more than just a voice. I encourage you, go look up Wes Johnson. Go find him on Twitter, find him on Facebook. Guy's got all kinds of stuff going on. Right now, he's also trying to sell I can't remember what it is. I think it's a Redskins jersey. Now, I haven't followed the Redskins closely in several years, but it was the guy that got murdered, I think. So you Redskins hardcore fans will know. I used to be a hardcore fan up till about the year 2000. And I just, I left for my own reasons. Always been a Caps fan, though. You guys remember him? He got murdered, and that was a bit of a blow to the heart of the Redskins and their fans. Well, he got a cool jersey that was like autographed, and it's also framed in a special frame of sorts, and he's trying to sell that. So you should go check him out. Wes Johnson, he's got it up on eBay, but all you got to do is find him on Facebook, and you'll see the link to that. It's a cool jersey. I mean, I'd like to have it, but, I'm a fair weather Redskins fan nowadays. They broke my heart a little bit too much leading up to the, 1999, 2000, my departure from them. And I started picking up again in about 2008-ish. Started watching some games here and there. So I'm a fair weather fan. When they're losing, I'll just turn them off. When they're winning, I'll watch and cheer them on. Yeah. Honesty is what you get here. It's Caps on Tap, the daughter show of truth on tap, and you're not going to get lies. I am a fair weather Redskins fan. I am an all-weather Capitals fan. I will be there with them through rain or shine. That's a given. 41 years old now, rounding up, coming up to that second level in the middle age. Have always wanted to do a radio show, and have always loved the Capitals, leading ultimately and unequivocally to this. How could you deny it? It was destined, knowing everything else. So I am slowly picking up listeners. Actually, as most would measure it, quickly picking up listeners. So the show will grow, and the show will include your input. You, the fan, will be calling in, and we'll be on the air. You, the fan, will be chatting, and I'll be reading your comments on the air. And we're going to keep this Caps post-game thing going. I know that we're facing a challenge when we lose a game on getting people to interact. I understand that. And for that reason, these shows may be a little shorter. In fact, I'm not going to go much longer tonight. We've been on an hour and 35 minutes. I can go up to 3 hours. I can actually do 24/7 if I want. But I'm on a plan on Spreaker that allows me to go up to 3 hours at a pop, and then I have to start a new show if I want to go over that. The chances of me talking more than 3 hours consecutively are about 0.08%. Yeah, we would have to have just won a Stanley Cup, basically, for that. I don't like talking, and I don't like the sound of my own voice. Yet I have a radio show. Go work out the fucking math on that one, brother. Anyway, like I said, I was impressed with the Capitals' performance tonight. I do believe that it was representative of how they were performed throughout the season this year, and I am impressed. I'm impressed with the grind factor. I was impressed with the hits tonight. OV didn't throw a lot of big hits, but players you didn't even expect to did. Shamara came alive with hits. Erskine was throwing it on. I mean, Carlson was throwing the hits. People were getting physical. Brooksy was getting in there. Ward was getting in there, And what happens is, as with any team, that becomes kind of, it becomes rather contagious, doesn't it? You get a few guys throwing hits, and everybody wants to throw hits. Now, a game that happens like that can often lead to fights, can it? Because you start getting retaliatory penalties, and that guy hit me, I'm writing his number down, I'm going to go get him, and then that leads to fights. Who was the guy that went down tonight? You can tell me in chat or comment that they were fighting, and he went, I believe it was Toronto playing, let me think, I'll get this. My hockey brain just needs to engage. Toronto was playing, it's right on the tip. Was it Montreal? I think it was Montreal. Yeah. Well, they hate each other anyway. So Toronto's playing Montreal. It was a fight. Now, I don't remember the two players' names. I believe they had already been in a fight earlier in the game. So they get in another fight. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Toronto player. I may be wrong. It may have been the Montreal player that was drugged down to the ice. Now, the fight was going as normal. One guy sort of fell. And the other guy had his arms kind of still swinging, like, he was in a fight, but could not block, could not protect himself as he was yanked down to the ice. So his chin hit the ice first, hard, because the pull down was very hard and quick. So the guy had no chance to protect himself, and he was pretty much out on contact, and he got taken off on a stretcher. That's rough stuff, man. That's really rough stuff. If I had to tell NHL players something about that, I'd say, listen, if both your hands are free, always keep one under your chin. Always. They'll teach you that in any martial arts. Keep one in blocking position. And he could have gotten that under his chin and patted that blow some. Hope he's all right, man. It looked nasty, guys. It looked really nasty. I don't like seeing that kind of stuff happen, even to my worst enemies. That's bad stuff. That's not good. But I don't think it was a nasty move by the guy he was fighting. It's natural to want to pull down your opponent in a hockey fight. Balance is a bitch. And in any fight, really, if you're going down, you want to bring them down with you. Oh, you want to take the fight to the ground? We can do that. If you still got something left in you. So he yanked him down, but he yanked him so hard and fast that, the guy didn't have a chance to protect himself. That was ugly, man. I suspect he probably got a mild concussion, and it wouldn't surprise me if he broke or dislocated his jaw. But let's hope it's not going to knock him out for the season, because they're getting a little funny about concussions now and letting people come back after concussions, letting them come back too soon or sometimes at all. So I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm not going to talk about a lot of other stuff that happened in the league tonight. We're getting ready to cut the show as it stands now. Washington Capitals, great game tonight. We lost, but we performed well. I believe it is indicative of how we'll perform for the rest of the season. And this show will go on, probably after every game, if not roughly after every other game. Because I don't get much audience interaction after losses, I'm going to start planning my shows that way. So if I'm broadcasting after a loss, I'll just do my thing. And then after a win, when you're more pumped up and wanting to talk about it, well, then we'll do your thing. Unless you can prove me wrong and get in here after the losses too. I'm going to put on, as has been my habit here lately, one song from Bad Ace, and then one random song that I download from CC Mixter of an unknown artist. This time we're going to put, let's see what we've got listed on top here for Bad Ace. I'm going to put on a special. It's called A Special by Bad Ace. And then what you'll hear after that, as the show comes to a close, will be... let's see, one I know I haven't heard, or don't think I've heard. Alex Avenue? No, I think I've played that one. Alex. Here we go. This is one called by Alex called Improvisation on Friday. I don't think I've heard this one. Oh, I might have, though. Let's do this one instead. Love Shadow, Act Cool. I don't think I've heard that one. I might have. I'm going to have to download some more songs because I like to have not know. It's kind of fun to me. Like, ooh, what's this going to sound like? All right, so you're about to hear a special from Bad Ace, and then you're about to hear Act Cool by Roman Holiday. You've been listening to Caps on Tap, and listen to this.
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kiersted.
Yeah, that's Wes Johnson, Capitals Arena announcer. Listen, I want to thank you tonight for tuning into this show, or if you're listening to the podcast later, thank you anyway. I do appreciate that. Listen to the future shows. Come over to the Facebook page, and you can kind of follow how these shows are going, when they're going to be scheduled. The site is facebook.com/truthontapshow. Don't forget the show. Facebook.com/truthontapshow. Easy way to remember it is TOTS. And also check out the show on Spreaker, Spreaker.com/user/truth-on-tap. And you will see that I have two shows that I do on the radio. I broadcast Truth on Tap and also Caps on Tap. And you can follow that Caps on Tap show, and you can find out about both of them by going to the Facebook page. I want to thank you for listening tonight or whenever you're listening. I want to encourage you to tune into future shows. Go like that Facebook page. It'll keep you updated. And we are going to lead out here with a special by Bad Ace and Act Cool by Roman Holiday. Let's get it. Peace.
to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kirsten.
When I fall in love, I get dizzy. I fall out there just to teach a memory to draw me in. been. Tried my best to act cool through hours. Weather had no cues. Now there we say our goodbyes. No need for rush and crocodiles. Be there, then I would say funny how you become what you've seen too much of. So I might have been. Tried my best to act cool through hours. Weather had no cues. When I fall in love, I get dizzy. When I fall in love, I get dizzy. Tried my best to act cool through hours. Weather had no cues. Now there we say our goodbyes. Now there we say our goodbyes. Now there we say our
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kirsten.